Judge Judy set. Courtroom 5648. Judge Judy. Our next case features the plaintiff, Miss Allen, and the defendant, Mr. Carter. Let's have the parties come forward and take their seats. Miss Allen and Mr. Carter, take their seats. Judge Judy. Miss Allen, I'd like to hear your side of the story first. Please present your case. Miss Allen. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Carter wanted to rent my car, and he was supposed to return it in the same condition. However, when I got the car back, I found significant damages, which I believe he concealed from me. Judge Judy. I see. Mr. Carter, what do you have to say? Mr. Carter. Your Honor, I rented the car from Miss Allen, and when I returned it, there were no damages. However, she claims that I caused damage to the car after I returned it, and I believe this is a false accusation. Judge Judy. I understand. I've heard both sides of the story. Miss Allen, what is your request? Miss Allen. I believe Mr. Carter should repair the damages he caused to the car and cover all the expenses related to it. He didn't uphold our agreement and was not honest about the condition of the car. Judge Judy. And Mr. Carter, what is your request? Mr. Carter. Your Honor, I returned the car to Miss Allen without any damages, and I shouldn't be held responsible for any damages that occurred afterward. I'm requesting that I'm not liable for the alleged damages. Judge Judy. Understood. After reviewing the evidence, I can say the following. There is a significant dispute regarding the condition of the car. Miss Allen, if you can provide evidence that the damages occurred after Mr. Carter returned the car and show that he concealed the damages, you may have a valid claim. Mr. Carter, if you can substantiate that you returned the car without any damages and that the damages were not your fault, your argument could be valid. Remember, the evidence will be crucial in determining the outcome. Judge Judy. I have shared my insights regarding the case. Parties can take these perspectives into consideration and proceed accordingly. Court is adjourned here. Judge Judy. In today's case, we have the plaintiff, Miss Anderson, and the defendant, Mr. Smith, in a dispute. Let's bring the parties in and ensure they take their seats. Miss Anderson and Mr. Smith, take their seats. Judge Judy. Miss Anderson, I'd like to hear your side of the story first. Please present your case. Miss Anderson. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith and I initiated a business partnership, but disagreements arose later, and I requested a refund of my invested money. Furthermore, I believe he violated the terms of our business contract. Judge Judy. I understand. Mr. Smith, what do you have to say? Mr. Smith. Your Honor, Miss Anderson didn't contribute adequately to the business and played a role in its failure. Additionally, there were ambiguities in our business contract that led to disputes. Judge Judy. I see. I've heard both sides of the story. Miss Anderson, what is your request? Miss Anderson. Mr. Smith should repay the debt he owes me, and there should be appropriate consequences for his violation of the business contract. I also want to reclaim the initial money I invested. Judge Judy. And Mr. Smith, what is your request? Mr. Smith. Your Honor, Miss Anderson failed to contribute sufficiently to the business and shares responsibility for its failure. Therefore, she should also be held accountable. Furthermore, due to the uncertainties in the business contract, I don't fully accept all the consequences. Judge Judy. Understood. After examining the evidence, I can say the following. A significant dispute stemming from a business partnership exists between the parties. Miss Anderson, you have the right to claim a refund of your initial investment if you can prove it was made in accordance with the contract, but you might also share responsibility for the business's failure. Mr. Smith, considering the ambiguities in the contract, you have the right to disagree with all the consequences. Judge Judy, I've shared my views on the case. Parties can act based on the evidence, laws, and perspectives presented. Court is adjourned here. Judge Judy set. Courtroom camera closing. Judge Judy. Today's case involves the plaintiff, Mr. Johnson, and the defendant, Miss Martinez, in a dispute. Let's bring the parties in and have them take their seats. Mr. Johnson and Miss Martinez, take their seats. Judge Judy. Mr. Johnson, I'd like to hear your side of the story first. Please present your case. Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Your Honor. I shared an apartment with Miss Martinez. However, recently she's been refusing to pay the rent on time and keeping the place disorderly. Moreover, she damaged my belongings. Judge Judy. I understand. Miss Martinez, what do you have to say? Miss Martinez. Your Honor, I don't have an issue with paying the rent on time. However, Mr. Johnson is also neglecting his responsibilities to maintain the apartment and participate in cleaning tasks. I didn't cause any damage to his belongings, and his claims are baseless. Judge Judy. I see. I've heard both sides of the story. Mr. Johnson, what is your request? Mr. Johnson. Miss Martinez should pay the rent and help maintain the apartment. Additionally, she should compensate for the damage she caused to my belongings. Judge Judy. And Miss Martinez, what is your request? Miss Martinez. Your Honor, I am paying the rent regularly and keeping the apartment clean. Mr. Johnson should fulfill his responsibilities and retract his unfounded accusations.